Because in the real world, your goals don't give a fuck about your excuses.
Hey, what it do? How did a broke Florida boy go from nothing to building a $150 million empire? Many think the answer is rap music, but there's a hidden story behind the boss Rick Ross's wealth. One that involves secret deals and shadow moves. This is the side of how Rick Ross built that empire that no one is talking about. March 11, 2006. The day Rick Ross's life would change forever. He just made his debut into the music industry, but he had the biggest players in the industry in a brutal high-stakes bidding war for his signature. This was all because of the incredible street momentum of his anthem Hustlin'. Diddy aggressively threw the weight of Bad Boy Entertainment into the ring, while Irv Gotti tried to lock him down for Murder Inc. Yet, it was a legendary late-night sit-down meeting with then-President Jay-Z that sealed the fate of the deal. But things weren't always this good. Before fame, William Leonard Roberts II lived a quiet life in Florida. He grew up in an environment where survival often shaped ambition and daily decisions. Now, money wasn't about luxury at that point, but about stability and respect. Every environment around him reinforced one idea about success and personal power. Now, your image could influence how people treat you more than your actual background, unfortunately. That belief slowly started shaping how he saw opportunity and identity. Before music, he worked ordinary jobs, including a corrections officer position in the system. That job later became one of the most controversial parts of his entire public story. But at that time, he was still trying to find his direction in life. There was no fame, ain't no stage presence, and ain't no music industry recognition. Only ambition existed, mixed with observation of how influence worked in the real world, you know what I mean? That observation became the foundation of everything that followed in his career. Before entering the music scene, he understood that talent alone would not guarantee the attention he needed. The industry was crowded with artists all trying to stand out at the same time. So identity became more important than ability in many cases. That was when the name Rick Ross was born. It wasn't just a name, but a complete transformation into a larger-than-life character. The identity was built around luxury, dominance, and confidence at every single level. The name itself came with controversy due to its connection to a real-life figure. That controversy created early attention even before his music reached mainstream audiences. In entertainment, attention often becomes the first form of currency. Everything about this persona was designed to feel powerful and untouchable. His voice carried authority, his lyrics described wealth, and his image reinforced success. He was building a world instead of just releasing songs. Then came the moment when everything changed. For Ross, Hustlin' was the big break. The record spread across radio stations and streets with unexpected speed and intensity. It created a strong first impression that forced the industry to pay attention. The energy of the song matched the identity he was building at the time. Confidence, repetition, and ambition made it feel larger than a typical debut record. Listeners connected with the feeling of success even before knowing the artist deeply. Then came the bidding war. Def Jam Records eventually secured the deal and positioned him for mainstream exposure. This singular move introduced him to a much larger audience and industry structure. That was when everything started to move faster than before. The same visibility that created the success also created pressure and investigation. And that pressure soon turned into controversy that tested this entire image. Once success arrived, details from his past began surfacing across media platforms. His previous role as a corrections officer became a major public topic. This revelation created tension between his image and his real-life history. In hip-hop culture, credibility plays a major role in how artists are received. So critics immediately questioned whether his persona matched his actual background. And the debate spread quickly across blogs, interviews, and music discussions. For many artists, this type of backlash could have ended momentum completely. But Rick Ross responded by staying consistent with his image and music output. He continued releasing songs that reinforced the same themes of success and dominance. And instead of retreating, he doubled down on visibility and brand strength. That decision turned controversy into attention, and attention into continued relevance. Now over time, the criticism lost impact, and the music and brand grew stronger. But this is the part where many get it twisted. They think that music is the sole contributor to Ross's wealth. Nah, it was only the foundation. Now, at a certain point, music alone stopped being the end goal of his career. He began focusing on ownership, investments, and long-term income strategies. This shift marked the beginning of his transformation into a full entrepreneur. One of his most successful ventures was the ownership of the Wingstop franchise. He invested in multiple locations and built steady income outside of his music revenue. This move created financial stability beyond the entertainment industry cycles. Another major money move was his partnership with Belaire. The partnership turned his lifestyle image into a commercial marketing advantage. Luxury branding became a direct part of his income strategy. He also built Maybach Music Group as a long-term business structure. Through this label, he developed and supported artists like Meek Mill and Wale. This allowed him to earn from talent development and industry influence simultaneously. Each business move expanded his role from artist to executive. Music became the foundation, yeah, but business became the real structure of wealth. Now, as his success grew, so did the importance of his lifestyle presentation. Rick Ross began using luxury as a core part of branding. Everything from cars to houses reinforced the image he created early in his career. One of his most iconic purchases was the massive Georgia estate previously owned by Evander Holyfield. The property became a visual symbol of transformation and success over time. The massive 105-room Georgia mansion features an actual wildlife population. It represented how far his life had changed since his early days in Florida. Another crazy luxury thing the boss did was to own a custom Louis Vuitton wrapped chainsaw. Ross made a luxury statement even with his yard work. He chose to use a fully functional chainsaw completely wrapped in the Louis Vuitton monogram print. And in addition to that, he brought Jacob & Company Billionaire watch, which is covered in rare Asher-cut yellow diamonds. The watch is worth more than most rappers' entire net worths combined. Interestingly, it took over 3.5 years to assemble because finding enough matching yellow diamonds was nearly impossible. But luxury was never just about personal enjoyment or status display alone, nah. It functioned as a marketing tool that strengthened his entire public identity. Every visual reinforced the idea of power, wealth, and success. This strategy helped maintain cultural relevance even outside active music cycles. His image remained strong because it was constantly reinforced through lifestyle branding. That consistency played a major role in long-term influence. Now, at this stage in his career, his most important asset was no longer music or even business alone. It became perception and how the world interpreted the Rick Ross identity. The boss understood this better than most artists in his era. Every public appearance was carefully aligned with the boss persona he created early on. Luxury cars, expensive clothing, and high-end settings were all part of a consistent message. That message reinforced authority, success, and control in every visual moment. Even social media became a direct extension of the brand's strategy. Each post strengthened the perception of wealth and influence over time. That repetition built trust in the image he had created years earlier. And in modern entertainment, perception often becomes reality when repeated long enough. But how long was he able to move from building wealth to building a legacy? The answer was real estate. Beyond music and branding, real estate became another key pillar of his empire. Rick Ross invested in properties that added long-term stability to his income structure. These investments ensured wealth continued growing outside of entertainment cycles. Real estate also matched his public image of ownership and dominance. Large properties reinforced the idea that success was built, not just performed. Each purchase added another layer to his financial foundation, and that combination is what built a sustainable empire. The transformation of Rick Ross from corrections officer to rap mogul feels almost impossible when fully viewed. Yet his journey demonstrates how identity, branding, and ownership can completely reshape someone's life. Was this a carefully built illusion that the world accepted over time? Or was it a genuine transformation built through discipline and strategy? Hey, let me know what you think in the comments.